Hey everyone, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking. I'm going to be talking to you today about Commander Ashtar. I actually got some new information about him that's really important for me to share with you. But I just want to give a background in case you have no idea who Commander Ashtar is. He is the commander or leader of the Galactic Federation of Light. The Galactic Federation of Light is a huge group of volunteers across the galaxy, bunch of different galactic races working together. It's very similar to like Star Trek, if you've ever seen that. So they have spacecraft, multiple ones. I'm not sure how many, but Commander Ashtar is the leader of this organization. The Galactic Federation of Light is a group that was created from the Galactic Alliance. So the Galactic Alliance originally started off as being, did it start off? Okay, it started off being 24 different galactic groups or planets working together to promote peace and equality across the galaxies, across the universes. So the Galactic Alliance created the Galactic Federation of Light in order to help promote those missions. So the Galactic Federation of Light will they work under the Galactic Alliance, so they will go to different planets doing different things. The only way that I've really seen them act so far is basically as protectors. They are acting in the capacity of trying to intercept other galactic groups who have a low vibrational intention, and they are so they'll intercept them and do other things to protect different planets from different invasions. So let me pull up my notes. Okay. So I have two different things that I channeled recently about Ashtar, and the reason it's so important for me to share this with you is that in the past I've seen different planets getting attacked by the reptilians or the cyborgs. Basically, it's always the cyborgs. The reptilians might be the ones on the planet, but the cyborgs are the ones calling the shots ultimately. Um, but a lot of times I'm seeing the Galactic Federation of Light not able to engage in a meaningful way with the planet being attacked to help them because there are these rules in place from the Galactic Alliance that they can't take a life to save a life. They don't want to kill. Um, it makes sense, but it's frustrating watching these wars because people are dying. Lots and lots and lots of people died. Um, so I was kind of getting frustrated. Like, why aren't you guys doing anything? Well, I'm getting a different picture now. So what I think is happening, the problem with when I have a vision is that there's no context, like time wise. I don't know if I'm looking at the first war that ever happened or something that's going on right now or something that happened yesterday. And there's no way for them to give me a time because time isn't a real thing. It's kind of this illusion of an incarnated body. Um, anyways, in my opinion, what they're showing me now is more recent, even though there's no way to really gauge timing on things. Okay, so let me tell you what I saw. So one of the visions I had, it was actually based on some one of my clients was getting a Commander Ashtar activation. So by the way, if you're interested in connecting more with Ashtar or the Galactic Federation of Light, we do have an activation specifically for them to help you attune to those energies. so that you can better communicate with them and get messages. So I was doing that for one of our clients, and so I'm going to give you part of what came through during their session. I'm going to exclude all their personal information and any personal messages. I'm just going to give you kind of the more general message. Um, so I saw the client as a woman on, you say this planet, Betel Goose? Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse. Oh, that's a weird way to say it. Everyone says Betelgeuse, but Betelgeuse, it's one of the Orion planets. So I've seen this planet before. The beings that I've seen, there's probably other beings I haven't seen, but the ones I have seen, they're androgynous, although they give off like either male or female energy, depending on what they prefer in that lifetime. Their skin is blue, they have no hair, they have two little antennas that can come up out of their head. They actually extend these antennas out to assist them with getting additional, like, extrasensory information. So if they need more energetic information, psychic information, they extend these out to grab more information. And if they don't need it, they pull them back into their head. Um, so what I was shown was that this client was from that planet. I was shown that Betel, I already forgot how to say it. Betel Betelgeuse, Betelgoose. I forget it. I'm gonna call it Beetlejuice because I really don't remember how to say it. Um, but the planet was destroyed during the Orion Wars, and it's like, get this. So I don't understand because I think it's still there. I don't think it's destroyed. So I don't know what timeline I'm on. I don't know how destroyed is. Let me just tune into it because now I just need to know. Okay. It's not like the planet itself is like missing. It's like the exterior of the planet was ravaged is kind of the wording I should be using. So my client had their home destroyed during one of these wars, which is actually like kind of a commonplace thing for the survivors. So they joined the Galactic Federation of Light, wanting to help others going through that same suffering that they have been through. So this is another piece of information that I got that was really intense that I don't have context to. Gana, which is the first planet created, which is the blueprinter planet, which is part of the Andromedan galaxy, and Sirius B, which is the water planet, were both attacked during my client's time on the starship. So I know that they had wars there. I don't know what the outcomes were. Both planets were saved before extensive damage could be done. So that seems positive. Both planets have since recovered. These missions were dangerous. These were the first times, this is what I wanted to tell you guys. These were the first times during my client's time on these ships that Commander Ashtar had access to new technology that allowed him to erect force fields, either um, in and these force fields were not like super massive. It's not like he could put a force field around a planet, but he could put force fields around individuals or groups. And so I can see him erect force fields around individuals to protect them from getting like killed. Or he's erecting force fields around the reptilians to prevent them from being able to like fire weapons. Well, I mean, they can fire the weapons, but the weaponry won't go past the force field. Sorry, my phone closed. Let's see. This is really cool. The Arcturians discovered this force field technology accidentally. Accidentally. There are no accidents. The Arcturians discovered this technology. They weren't trying to, but they discovered it. And then they petitioned the Galactic Alliance to allow that technology to be used by the Galactic Federation of Light. So I could see they figured it out. And then they went, oh, this could really be a game changer. And it is. Um, so the force fields, I've seen the Galactic Federation of Light as they got more advanced with these force fields, they started erecting like jail cells almost. Like it looked like it literally had the shape of a rectangular jail. There's like no door. But I mean it was like a large jail cell where they could put like, I don't know, like 30 reptilians or whatever in it at one time. Um So they would make these like energetic jail, jail cells to put reptilians in, or draconians, or whoever was taking over the planet, and they would detain them until the galactic police, this is interesting, until the galactic police from Nakar could show up. So what this tells me, and I didn't realize it when I wrote it down, but I'm feeling it right now. So in other videos that I've played for you guys, the Galactic Police from Nakar, they weren't really Galactic Police at all. They were like rogue individuals. So Nakar is one of the Bootes planets. It has my guide Kwamya that's from there, that he's been a commander on one of their ships. They have blue skin, and I used to joke because he's got like this really big head in the back, and he's got like a collar that comes up around his face, and um, like blue cape with like blue skin. And so they used to be part of the Galactic Alliance, but they left the Galactic Alliance because they were at a disagreement with them, because Nakar wanted to go in and rescue people regardless of whether they died or not. And the Galactic Alliance said no. And so Nakar broke off from the Galactic Alliance. Nakar then did what they wanted, and they would do rogue missions, and they would go to these planets that were being attacked, and they would go in on foot, and they would grab whoever they could try to save and pull them back onto their little tiny starships, and then they would take them back. Did they take them I can't remember. No, they took them back to the car to help them set up a new life there, basically. Um, so what I'm being told now in this timeline, this whatever part of history this is that Nakar is now an officially recognized galactic police force, and that they are working together with the Galactic Alliance because they're working together with the Galactic Federation of Light. Um, and so Ashtar has the bad guys in the jail. The Nakar police are coming to like escort them from this jail over to the proper. There's like a galactic. It's so crazy, and I haven't seen a lot about it, but there's a galactic um, court system. There's a galactic like jail system. Um, there's trials for galactic crimes, and so this is they would have taken them from whatever planet they attacked over to the galactic jail system. So really cool stuff. Um, there we go. Do we want to do that? No. Okay, that's Finn. He's like, "Hello, I'm here. Hey, baby." Well, hello. Could you lay down? He's okay, but seriously, could you? He's deaf, so he only has one volume, and it's like the super loud kind of volume because he can't hear himself. Lay down, buddy. Okay. So what I was seeing with my client, so after the bad guys were being taken off the planet, What my client was doing, along with a group of other individuals from the Galactic Federation of Light, which I haven't seen before, is they were going onto the planet and different groups were working with different things. So some of them were working with the people on the planet. Some of them, like my client, were going and working on the land. So they would work with the actual land of the planet to heal the land, soothe it, comfort it. They would treat Oliver, come on, buddy. Everybody's crazy right now. They would treat the land like it was a patient and they were like a doctor, relieving pressure points, sewing up wounds, cleansing what was made dirty. Let's see. Within days, supplies would arrive from across the galaxy to rebuild homes, replant forests, rebuild cities, or whatever was needed to repair the damage that was sustained. Galactic communities came together as one. No longer was the Galactic Alliance formed of only 24 galactic races. It had now expanded into the hundreds. Darkness still existed, and darkness will always exist. But it is, and this is me talking about the energy of this time. Darkness still existed, and darkness will always exist, but it is weak and fleeting in the face of unity and love. The number of beings working under the cyborgs reduced over time because fewer beings were interested in seeking power when they knew it meant likely failure. I saw this. Let me ask him. And he can't really give me an answer because part of me feels like this is the past, and part of me feels like this is the future, and part of me feels like this is the present. And I think the reason is because that's the truth of anything that's going on. It is past, present, and future. And so that's why I can't feel into when this is. But I saw this time where love wins, where unity and kindness finally have the upper hand, and darkness actually backs down to the light. So, this is really important for us to grasp and to see because it's a real thing. It's what we feel like our goal is in this lifetime, but somewhere, somehow, it already exists. Can be anything. I'm like I'm waiting for him to tell me something because normally I'll say something and it can wait and he'll like validate it or he'll add on to it. He's being quiet. Metatron being so quiet. He's just going to let us sort through this the way we want to sort through this. Okay. Um, is this one? Oh, I had one other lifetime where Ashtar popped up recently. And of course, there's no coincidences. So I felt like it'd be appropriate to include this information as well. So this was something that pulled up. I just channeled it. And it's because it's one of my past lifetimes. It's from the Pleiades, which I'm just now starting to get to look at these planets, just the tiniest glimpse. And this planet is Alcyone. Or or no, some people say it Alkyone. That's the Greek way. Alkyone. I should say it that way. Alkyone. Um, so I see myself, I'm a woman. I appear Japanese. So it's like that kind of cultural feel to this, at least the portion of the planet I can see, if not the whole planet. So I am outside. There's like this massive um building that kind of looks like a pagoda, like those buildings that are in Japan that have those it's like those roofs that kind of go out in layers. I know it's hard to explain. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. And so I'm outside. It's overcast. It's like pouring down rain. Um, it's getting towards evening time. It's not completely dark out, but it's getting towards evening time. And I'm like standing out under one of those eaves on the pagoda, so I'm not getting rained on. And there is like a forest. There's like a huge lake, and then there's like a forest all around that. And around the pagoda, there's a lot of these trees also. And the trees kind of look the trees look like sorry, I'm like trying to tune into it to make sure I tell you guys correctly. It's like fall kind of weather where the trees are like red and orange and a little bit of yellow, and a bunch of them have kind of dropped onto the floor. And out out on that huge lake, they have this like out in the distance, I can see this bridge, like this beautifully designed bridge, and it's like massive. It goes all the way across this lake, and there's like these little lights on the bridge, but the bridge is made of like wood, so super pretty, but really far off. And I guess in case you need to cross the lake. Um, so I've been standing out there, kind of staring at the lake, but it's like getting cold, and so I step back in closer to the base of the house because outside there's like a fire pit or like a fireplace. There's a fire going there. And then outside of that, there's this like huge mat where a lot of different people could sit down and gather. And so I sit down on this mat and I'm waiting for someone. And then I understand that it's my mother I'm waiting for. And so she comes out of this pagoda and she sits down with me outside. She's got like long black hair that has like little strands of gray in it. And she's brought tea for us. And she brought the tea to help keep us warm. And so she kind of takes a seat with her tea and she gives me mine. And she's staring out at the lake. And then I'm getting this backstory on her. So I'm told my mother is a politician. She has led different communities her whole life. She is a good leader, fair and wise. She is running for the Pleiadian Council now. There will soon be an opening when our planet's current representative retires. Um, so the Pleiadians There is a there's the Pleiadian High Council is 12 members. Was it 12 members then? Okay. So it's made up of 12 members. I'm not sure how it's divided up because I know there are 7 planets. Are there It's interesting. It's funny, we always say there's 7 planets for the Pleiades, but they're making me feel like there's actually 12. Well, I'll just throw that out there. Anyways, okay, so she's gonna run for the Pleiadian Council for the seat for our planet, which is Alkione. If she is elected, she will spend time off planet frequently. So you gotta imagine if you are part of a galactic group like that, you get elected, you probably have to spend a lot of time on other Pleiadian planets. You probably have to spend a lot of time in other constellations and other solar systems or whatnot, communicating with those leaders, right? So if she gets elected, she will spend time off planet frequently. I will see her much less. This is our quiet time together before the decision is announced. It was almost like they were in the process of counting votes still, or that they would be counting votes soon. We both want her to succeed, but we know it will mean a deep personal sacrifice. She is the wisest person I know. I will feel lost without her. But I would never say that to her. It would only make it harder for her to pursue the dream. And so I have two older sisters, and they arrive. I guess I'm the youngest, and these other two arrive. And so I stand up to greet them. And so I hug like the middle sister, and they give me her name, and she has like tears in her eyes. Like she's very emotional because we all basically know that our mother is really likely to get elected. So we know we probably aren't going to be seeing her a ton after this. So she's emotional about it. And I'm like whispering to her that's like, we'll be okay, we'll be okay. That middle sister has never been one to conceal her emotions. So she hugs our mother. And then when she's doing that, I hug the older sister. And I know the older sister wants to cry too, but she's like, not, she's like me. She's like, not going to cry because she doesn't want it to be harder. Um, And so I'm given this information. This election has been a dangerous time. Dark energies have risen up on the planet to cause confusion, to sow division. There is the fear of assassination. And so you can tell dark energies have started building up at this point because these 5D or 6D planets are no longer like these perfect paradises. They're starting to turn into a little bit more of like almost like a 3D energy. I mean, not quite, but there's darker energies present because if for us to have to fear that those trying to be elected could be assassinated, that's a much lower vibration. I already know my mother will likely be elected to the council. Archangel Michael seems to be preparing me for this. He is compassionate. He knows this will be very painful for me and my sisters, but it will be the best choice for Alcyone. So my mother is elected, and we see her very infrequently for the remainder of her life. Her work inspires me to lead, and my sisters and I choose to spend our lives working for peace aboard a starship. So when I first heard that, I was like, oh, did we like join the Galactic Federation of Light? But Metatron's like, no. So I'm shown that after our mother was elected, that through her, we were able to meet Commander Ashtar because Galactic Alliance meetings are held on Alcyone in like an undisclosed location. And so the Galactic Alliance would call in Commander Ashtar and whoever else to have these meetings. And so since she was part of the Pleiadian High Council, she would be at those meetings. And so she knew him because of that. And they were all on our planet. And so at one point, she was supposed to like, this is strange. It's like so Earth like. She was supposed to go out to lunch with Ashtar, like socially. Not, I mean, not socially, but um, she was supposed to kind of like show him around the planet or kind of like make him feel at home because he's on like a strange planet. He doesn't know anybody. She was supposed to like help him during the in between times. Well, she gets stuck in some kind of meeting that she couldn't get out of. And so she asked me and my sisters just to like go take him out to lunch. How hard could it be, right? And so we're like, yes, we can do this. Um, yeah. We expected, I say the meeting because that's how we felt about it. It's like take him to lunch, but when you're taking a commander to lunch, it's really like a business meeting, right? And so we're like, all right, do things right. Don't embarrass your mother. Um, And so we expect this meeting with him to be serious, maybe boring, maybe awkward, like we don't know. Um, But it was crazy because, like, instantly when we met him, it was like we just hit it off, like, connected so strongly immediately, like old friends. So he enjoyed, like, once we had that connection with him, we would kinda joke with him a little bit, not like crazy, but a little bit, and so he kind of enjoyed us being lighthearted, and he was actually making us laugh. We weren't expecting to feel so drawn to him. We weren't expecting him to be funny or relatable. Our mother is much more reserved in her work, but understandably so, she holds a position of immense responsibility. Not that Ashtar doesn't, but Ashtar, it's funny because Ashtar is just like our mother, just like a lot of people. Ashtar takes his work seriously. Like, he takes his work very seriously. And so I've actually never seen him, okay, one other time, but that's not even important. I haven't seen him like this before. I haven't seen him outside the context of work. I haven't seen him off the ship, off duty, out of a meeting before. And so this is the first time I'm seeing that he's like relatable and funny. And you have to remember, he's Metatron's soul, same soul as Jesus, same soul as Buddha, Merlin. So of course he's relatable. It's like the most relatable soul ever. Um, so Ashtar spoke of many different things during this meeting. We were fascinated by his work, but he confided in us that the bureaucracy and rules sometimes made it difficult to act in a timely fashion and according to one's conscience. Okay, so like, again, I don't know where this is in the timeline. I'm assuming this is before he got those force fields. Um, so it's basically showing that Ashtar is expressing his personal opinions. He's like, hey, I love the GFL. I love working this mission, but there are some problems there that are preventing me from being able to do everything according to my conscience. And so here's what I have. Ashtar has deep compassion and strong morals, and he felt limited at times by being under the Galactic Federation. Or I should, no, not the Galactic Federation, the Galactic Alliance. I miswrote that. So me and my sisters, we were like interested in joining the Galactic Federation of Light, but he's like, how about instead, would you be interested in being commissioned by Ashtar for private missions? And his exact words were rogue missions for peace. So basically, in places Ashtar wasn't allowed to go or wasn't allowed to engage in a certain way or in a certain time, he was asking us to engage instead, unofficially. This allowed us to yield better results for planets under a high risk of attack from outside forces. So we weren't like, it's not like we were running into a war situation. We were basically, it was more political. We were touching base and building relationships with people before things got bad. The missions were not backed by the Galactic Alliance or the Galactic Federation of Light, but they were in alignment with their missions for compassion and peace for all. So just wanted to share that story with you, mostly just because it makes Ashtar a little bit more, I don't know. I can feel the energy off of it, and I wish you guys could feel the energy off of it because it's just, he's very like, he doesn't mean to be charming, but he's charming. He's likable. And you don't get that energy. I don't get that energy from him when he's working because he's like all business. But as a human being, he's very likable. As a human being, he's not a human being. He's an elf. He's elven. As a person, he's very likable. Um, okay, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. But again, it's kind of crazy that I'm getting these very different pictures of how these wars are playing out, or um, how the Galactic Alliance is responding, or how the Galactic Federation of Light is responding. It's very different depending on where they're dropping me in history. So makes it hard for us to understand because we don't have our brains, our minds are not able to comprehend the way time really is. And so we're trying to make it linear and it's like really messing it up. At least for me, it is. Okay. So that's everything I wanted to say about Ashtar. Just wanted to update you guys so that you know that things aren't always exactly the way I've been shown them up until before this point. The more they show me, the more rich and diverse and complex this history really is. So I'm going to keep sharing these things as they come along. So that's everything I have for you today on Ashtar. I'm going to see you guys next time. Bye bye.